Hi everyone, and welcome to today's talk on the direct method. The direct method is also known as the natural method, the anti-grammatical method, the reform method, or the phonetical method. These are 4 other names for the direct method, which is one of the ESL methods for teaching. The reason why it was developed was because in the mid and late 19th century, Europe was experiencing a wave of opportunities in communication. This was due to industrialization and international trade and travel. So people needed another way to learn English. A need was felt to develop oral proficiency in foreign languages. That is, they needed to be able to speak a common language when they were doing international trade or when they were traveling. Language teachers had already found that the grammar translation method was inadequate and ineffective in developing communicative ability in learners. That is, they could read and write and they could translate, but they couldn't speak. So that was a major problem of GTM. What do you think are some other reasons that people oppose GTM? Remember, GTM stands for the Grammar Translation Method, where students were learning grammar and they were learning how to translate. And this was mostly related to the classical languages. The direct method is named direct because meaning should be connected directly with the target language, without translation. That is, they should be able to think, that is, get a concept, and put that concept directly into the target language. They shouldn't need to translate that. People who believed in the direct method also strongly advocated an alternative method in which language was presented in context and the mother tongue was avoided. So again, they didn't want people to have to translate an idea first into their first language and translate it into the second language. The second language was seen as parallel to the acquisition of the child's first language. We know that children often learn by mimicking and copying. They repeat words many times, and they believe that they should learn a second language that way. In this method, the importance of sounds, simple sentences, and direct association with objects and people was very important. So, being able to describe the classroom, the home, the garden. Now let's look at some basic principles of the direct method. There are many here, so you might want to take some notes as we go through the slides. You can also pause the screencast at any point if you feel that you need more time to write things down or to review. Number 1, classroom instruction is conducted exclusively in the target language. The teacher should demonstrate, not explain or translate. Remember, she should never translate. She should only demonstrate. 2, only everyday vocabulary and sentences are taught. Basic vocabulary is given first. That is, they won't be translating Shakespeare or Plato or any of the famous classical text. 3, vocabulary is taught through known words, demonstration, authentic objects, realia, pictures, and miming. Again, this should be the basic vocabulary, the words that students need to know in their daily lives for survival. 4, grammar is taught inductively. They may never be given an explicit grammar rule. So, as a teacher, do not give the rules. Make the students figure out the rules. So, for example, if you're talking about sports, you can ask them which sports use go, play, or do, and have them figure out the rule. 5, new teaching points are introduced orally. Remember, oral transmission is important. Both speaking and listening comprehension are taught. So it's direct because students should be able to speak first. The teacher, by asking the student to make a choice, gets him to correct his own error. The teacher does not correct the error. The syllabus is based on situations or topics, not usually on grammatical structures. 9. Correct pronunciation is emphasized. Students should learn to think in the target language as soon as possible. Again, they're not translating from their L1. They're having to think about how they would phrase something immediately in English. 11. The purpose of language learning is communication. Therefore, students need to learn how to ask questions as well as to answer them. Communication first. So, listening and speaking are very important in this method. Reading and writing come later. Now it's your turn. What techniques do you think might work best with the direct method? Take some notes on your paper as you think of some ideas, and you'll be asked to share some of these ideas later. Finally, on your paper, talk about what are the pros and the cons of the direct method. We just learned 11 of the basic principles of the direct method, and so I think now you could easily come up with some of the pros and the cons. How would you use the direct method as a teacher? Thank you so much for watching this slide. I hope you enjoyed it.